Welcome back to another round at probably the hardest course in Charlotte. We're playing Angry Beaver Longs today. I have a tournament here at the beginning of April, and I want to do good. I've been going through a lot of mental thought processes when it comes to my game, and I'm realizing a lot of things that I kind of need to change in order to perform better. One of those is just to take my time, and I saw this from Gannon Buhr this past weekend at the Las Vegas Championship Challenge, whatever the heck it is. Man, it was just so cool to watch him and to watch him take his time. He had his chalk bag that he would continue to go back to, and I think some of that was nerves, but it came from a good place of making sure that he was ready to putt. He wasn't going to putt until he was ready to putt. And I know for me, a lot of times I'm mentally thinking, all right, let's just go ahead and hey, let's hurry up and get this birdie. Let's hurry up and make this and get to the next hole. And that's not good. It's not a good mentality. He also did a lot of practice swings and stuff, and I feel like I need to walk up and practice swing. I've never done that. I've never walked up and done a practice swing. I just walk up and throw. And I think these things kind of help you get, I don't know, your form and all that kind of stuff set in stone. And for me, someone who has always struggled with ADD, like in high school and college, being prescribed Adderall and stuff to help me study because I just couldn't focus. I see that come into disc golf a lot, to where I just get distracted and I think about all right, let's hurry up and finish. Let's hurry up studying is what I remember doing. So today I'm gonna try and take a note out of Gannon Buhr's playbook, the 16-year-old mastermind who absolutely killed it, and take my time. And I know a lot of other people saw this, but watching him do it, especially as a younger kid, was just so impressive. And so me, a 34-year-old, significantly older than him, I am going to try and take a page out of his book and take my time and really focus today. So let's see if we can crush it and do well out here at Angry Beaver. Bounty off of hole 1 here. Take my time, find my aim point down the right side. Keep flipping. Oh, what? Oh, that looked so good. Man, guys, that was gonna be parked if it hadn't hit this tree right here. Keystone down by the basket. I hope that sat. Take your time, even though it's just right here. All right, starting off with a par. Really good tee shot. I was just about 2 inches from being parked, so I'm happy with that. All right, so again, really trying to slow down everything. I do everything so quickly that I don't know, I just don't focus enough when I'm out playing. A lot of it's because I'm talking to you guys, but I need to just focus more and know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, now settle on that left route. Okay, that should actually be really good for an EMAC approach. All right, so there's not really any gap here for me, and I am not trying to go left out of bounds, so I'm gonna take my enforcer and throw it on a very sharp anhyzer around this way and just try and pan forward with it. You're joking. It's 40 feet up and I hit that. I wasn't even looking at that. All right, so I feel a little bit better with a sidearm approach here than a backhand approach, so I'm gonna go with that EMAC Truth that I just put back in my bag and see if we can land down by the basket. Settle down. All right, yeah, we've got a putt for a par, which is good on this hole. Guys, legit, I should have never taken this EMAC tooth out of my bag because it is such an important part of my game and I'm so dialed with it. So, hey, through the first 2 holes, even, really good out here, honestly. So I'm happy. All right, so throwing the bounty here, straight as I can, not too much power. Again, really trying to, like, this whole round, I want to do what Gannon and what other pros do, which is like take their time, figure out their shot. Like, I never do this in tournaments. I just walk up and throw. And I rarely ever do it in rounds. And I feel like it's important to figure out where you want to plant, where you want to get your throw, all that kind of stuff. And I honestly think if I start doing it, I will end up being a better player. So we're gonna start really trying to work on this. Please push through there. I think that that's in a good spot. All right, so no way of me throwing a backhand from here because this tree is just in the way. Like, no big hyzer, none of that. So I'm thinking about throwing my rive on an anhyzer, knowing that I'm not gonna get enough power like this to turn it over. Yeah, just trying to avoid the OB on the right side. Please come out. Okay, that's inbounds. This is such a bad lie. Literally, I needed 2 more feet right here and we'd have it, but that's okay. This is a tough hole. We're barely inbounds up there. Barely inbounds. Thankfully we get a meter. All right, so I now have to play this hole very smart. There's a little bit of a headwind. I cannot have any part of my body out of bounds while I'm touching or once I release this disc. So I'm just gonna throw my felon straight, have it end up, honestly, 150 feet from here, maybe 200. And then I just have to try and get a good approach into the basket. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Oh my gosh, that's actually a really good spot, hopefully. All right, so playing this hole clean is super important because it's a tough birdie to get. Well, I mean, if you throw 3 good throws, it's not a tough birdie to get. But yeah, this one you can get big numbers on. Pretty stiff headwind here. Gonna throw my rive at the lone tree over there by that light pole. Throw my rive at that. Kind of flat. Actually, I'll probably throw it on a hyzer to the right of that and let it skip into the basket. Too far. Yeah, that's a massive putt. I was afraid of this bush sticking up right there. I was afraid of hitting that. I feel like I probably should have thrown my enforcer because it's in a headwind and flexed it. Yeah, that's what I should have done. Because that's parked. Dang it. Ah, that's okay. You'll learn. So the enforcer there is in a brilliant spot. Like, this would have been a really easy par. This is what I should have done, but I didn't think it through. Now this is a very difficult putt, and it's pretty much a death putt, but I'm really working on, like, calming my mind. And so this is a perfect situation to practice that. To really practice calming my mind, not allowing my mind to be distracted, and to execute a perfect putt. As long as that sat, that's good. All right, so that's a bogey on this, which is a little frustrating, but understandable. All right, so +1 now. Gonna throw the stag off of this tee, aiming at the first tree after the clearing and trusting that it'll turn right in front of that. It's kind of the aim point that I've picked, so that's what we're going for. Finish your follow through. A little bit of a headwind, which might help it out, so I'm okay with it. Just want to hit the gap. Not going to force this or anything. Nice smooth throw. Oh, there's a headwind. It didn't want to flip. I mean, I'm fine being down there, but that's surprising. All right, so this is an extremely bad lie. Again, honestly, kind of confused that it didn't turn over, but it is what it is. Don't really know what I can throw from here, but I don't want to try and force anything down there. So honestly, I'm going to take my EMAC and just try and shape a little shot down into the fairway if I can. Okay, that was unbelievably well executed. So after that tee shot, I am really happy with where we're at right here. This is a little bit out of my range, so I'm still gonna try and get it there, but not really doing a full run. Yeah, par on this is solid. Lots of people get bogeys, and even more on this. Really good stuff after that lie. That EMAC shot was ridiculous. All right, so you guys know the drill on this one. Throwing the fell in and just trying to pipe the gap. I know where my aim point is. Trying to hit it there on a hyzer, but I don't want it to turn right until it gets to the edge up there. So I want it to push on that hyzer angle, but straight. Nope. That'll be a par, but that wasn't a good shot. So honestly, on this hole, if you don't hit the gap, it's pretty easy to bogey it. So I am happy with the par on this one, even though I think it's a pretty gettable birdie, honestly. Little run. So that felon I needed to throw it on a hyzer, but just barely any hyzer, and then we would have been in a good spot. All right, so honestly, same exact shot as that last one that I wish I'd executed here. Felon, tiny bit of hyzer, pushes straight, comes around the corner. That's the goal here. Yes. Nice, no tree sounds. Might have a birdie look from there, might be cut off. So this kind of sucks. Right next to the tee pad here. No real backhand line because of this tree. Only have the sidearm line. And man, I wish that I had my culverin to flip up here. I could throw the felon, but I mean, maybe I do. Maybe I do, because it'll push towards that tree. And if it goes right inside of that, it'll get a good skip. Yeah, we'll throw this. Ah. Yeah, that's a putt at least. Dang. Really close to being perfect. Well, this is a fun lie. Sitting on the log. So honestly, marking this is going to be a little bit strange. And standing up here is going to be a little bit strange. I just don't want to slip off of this log. Maybe I should do it from this side? No. All right. Oh, oh, that was sick. All right, that'll be a par. Dang, guys. That would have been super sick. We're still +1. I need to start getting some looks here. All right, so through all of this, I'm still trying to do what I saw Gannon do, and just the fact that he took his time, like walked up, finds his aim point. I know a lot of pros do this, but again, I just noticed Gannon doing it a lot, especially with his putt. But I haven't really had the chance to make too many big putts. So yeah, like that last one was just weird. But even stuff like this, just finding my aim point and getting it in my head where I want this disc to go, and then throwing it there. Please! I was too afraid of hitting the right side. And so I aimed in the middle when I knew that I needed to aim on the right. All right, so this is an extremely difficult shot that I think honestly is pretty much only achievable with the diamond. Throwing a big time turnover to try and give myself a look here. Oh yeah, the skinniest one? Oh, okay. And then that one, awesome. That was actually a really good shot. I just barely missed my line. All right, so here's a shot for a big putt. Let's see if we can get it. Let's see if we can get it here. This is a huge putt. Wow. Really good putt. Genuinely cannot believe that I just bogeyed this hole. I need to like stop changing my aim point on things. Like for the most part, you need to listen to yourself when you think of things. I knew where I needed to aim, and then in my head, I said, no, I'm gonna aim here, and then I messed up. And that's that whole thing with just getting distracted, and in your head, it's like, no, you know where to throw it. So stop questioning yourself and throw it. All right, so gonna throw my Lucid Air Trespass on this one. We're going uphill, so it's gonna stable it up just a little bit. So I'm gonna throw it flat at the left side of the fairway. And if I do that, it should turn. And again, since we're going uphill, it should stable up. I threw it on a hyzer like a noob. That was the exact line that I needed. I just threw it on a hyzer. All right, so at this point, I'm just trying to get out. Honestly, I'm gonna try throwing this getaway that I have in my bag. Okay, that was unbelievably well executed. All right, so I'm gonna throw my soft justice here on a little bit of an ante. Because I know that it's gonna dump right. Sit down. All right, that's a putt. That was a good shot. All right, so this is one of those scenarios I'm talking about where I really need to focus on my putt and take the full time to know exactly where I want to put it. Good putt, Michael. Nice and smooth. That's a really good par, guys. That's a really good par, especially based off of that first, my drive. Okay, so this hole's 329, but I honestly always find myself struggling to make it there. So I'm gonna throw my Lucid Air Trespass. There is a little bit of a headwind, so I'm gonna throw it flat, straight ahead, and low. So I'm not gonna give it much air. And I feel like it's 330, a little uphill, probably plays close to 345 maybe. So I just want this to like skid on the ground. That's the goal with this. I need to bring my head back just a little bit on those. Yeah. Please hold that turn. Gosh, dude. You guys know how flippy that disc is. All right, big putt here. I don't really have a look at the basket unless I straddle out. And even then, actually, never mind, I don't have a look at the basket. So I'll try and sneak it right past this tree. Wow, great putt, Michael. Oh, all right. Man, that's not the best front nine. All right, so +2 through the front nine, which honestly is still like high 900 rated out here if I were to finish the round at that. We've got the back nine with a couple of birdieable holes, honestly. So we'll see if we can dial it in. But again, this whole time, I'm trying to do things like pros do, like what I noticed Gannon Buhr do. And that is like, go through your motions, see how things feel, know the shots you want to take, make sure that everything feels right with your putt and all that kind of stuff, and never rush anything. And I think I'm going to be a lot better player if I do that. So I'm going to really start trying to focus on that. Thanks for hanging out. See you guys in the back nine.